snap. When I went to pause my video, instead of pausing, I hit stop. So it stopped my recording. So this will be part 2. I'll get this technology figured out. Hopefully you compare your answers and came up with these answers. And again, I would really like for you to put them into your calculator to figure out that you're getting these answers and you're getting them right the first time as you're putting these numbers in. The whole reason I'm emphasizing on these integers, which is really kind of, I'm hoping that you really know how to do these, is pretty quick here. We're going to have letters behind here. And so we might have like a negative 10x minus 7x's. And so we're going to put x's with x's, but you can't put x's in on your calculator. And so it's very important that we get these numbers that we call coefficients. We know how to work with these numbers on our calculator. Okay? We'll get to that later on. All right, here's some word problems that we get to do here. Let's see what this one is. We're talking about the difference between 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit and minus 250 degrees Fahrenheit. So I like to draw some pictures. 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit is a very hot temperature. I know from Alaska that 0 down here is where things freeze. So this is a very, very hot temperature. And again, kids in Alaska, they know what a negative temperature is. Arizona, I don't think you guys get below 30 here. Anyhow, minus 250 degrees would be way down here. So if I'm thinking about this problem conceptually, I have 3,000 degrees just to get down to 0, and then I have another 250 degrees to get down to minus 250. Now let's go back to our math problem. So I use this word called difference in here. So we started out with 3,000 degrees, and the word difference means let's subtract, and I want to subtract a minus 250 degrees, and they want to know what that equals. So there's where we get our double negative signs. That would end up being a positive sign. And so I'm hoping that you said you came up with 3,250 degrees. Okay? So, got to answer the question. The question says the temperature the space shuttle must endure. Find the difference. The difference between the two is 3,250 degrees. A couple things that are also important as you're proceeding through high school math now. Commas, very important that you use commas. Just don't put 3250 and move on. And then also all word problems need some kind of a unit. In this case, it's the number of degrees. All right, so very important. Numbers. If it's bigger than 1,000, use that comma. You were taught that a long time ago. All right, let's go to evaluating expressions. And so when we're talking about an expression, some kids are kind of, well, what's the difference between an expression and an equation? An expression is when there is no equal sign. And so an equation would have an equal sign there. So now what they want us to do is wherever we see an A, they want us to put a 6. So we need to rewrite this math problem and say, hey, instead of it's A, we're going to put a 6. And then I want to bring down my plus sign. And where the B is, they want a minus 10. So again, I'm looking at my integers here, my math problem, and I see I have positives and I have some negatives. I have some more negatives than I do positives, so I know my answer is going to be a negative. And when the signs are different, we take the difference between the two. 10 take away 6 is 4, negative 4. All right. Again, now you should pause your video because this is how we kind of do this. Nope, this isn't a try it on your own. This is a subtraction problem now, an expression with subtraction. So this is where we might get some double negatives. So again, this is the actual problem. They say evaluate, and they want us to put these numbers into this expression. So my A, which is a negative 6, I want to put that there. I have a minus sign in my math problem, and then I want to put a 7. So really, in my head, I'm thinking I'm having a minus 6, and I'm adding to that a minus 7. Even though the plus sign is not there, I have some negatives, and I got some more negatives. Signs are the same, so I know my answer is going to be a negative something. And so I know 6 plus 7 is a negative 13. So again, try it on your calculator to make sure that you're getting a negative 13. Okay. Next one, I need to see my expression up here. We need to rewrite it. 14 minus And this would be the minus 9. I'm going to circle my double negatives and put a plus sign there, and I know that 14 plus 9 on my calculator over here is a positive 23. Okay, let's go to a word problem, I believe is next. Math income for a car wash was $300, including tips. Supply expenses were $25. Use an integer addition to find the team's total profit or loss. Usually income is the amount of money that's coming in. That's usually a good thing in most cases, and so they brought in $300, so that's going to be a positive 300 there. And then when you have expenses, that's usually where you have to take some of that money and you have to buy things. And so we want to subtract $25 because that's a negative number. Expenses are negative. And so there's our math problem. So now if we do our math, we get 300 take away 25, $275. Again, let's answer the question. It says, use the integer addition to find the team's total profit or loss. If we have a positive number over here, we need to interpret that for the people. It was a positive. We have more money than we had expenses, so we would write it total profit is $275. Here's my units, dollars there, and I answered the question. So this would be what I put in the box. I'll get better at my handwriting. I'm trying not to put my hand on the screen here. So anyhow, it takes practice. So let's move on to the next one here. Now, a little bit more challenging. I got 3 terms in my expression. So I'm going to rewrite my problem. I got a minus 5. There's a plus sign in my problem. They said let n be 8. There's a minus in my problem there. And then I want a p, which is a minus 14. I'm going to circle my double negatives. So now really my math problem on my calculator, I'm going to put minus 5 in, plus 8, plus 14. I'm going to make sure I use the negative sign. Minus 5 plus 8 plus 14. And again, I can see all those numbers in my calculator before I hit equals. And I get a total of 17. Next one, I want to put n in. I want to put an 8 in place of the n. I want to substitute it in. I have a minus sign that I'm going to bring straight down that's in my math problem. My m is a minus 5. And my minus sign that's in my problem, bring that down. And a minus 14. So again, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to pick a different color just so we can see it. I'm going to take my double negatives and I'm going to put a plus sign. Got double negatives there and I'm going to put a plus sign. So really my math problem says this, 8 plus 5 plus 14. Now you don't have to do all this rewriting the math problem underneath here. We want to speed things up, so you can just think this in your head, 8 plus 5 plus 14 to speed things up, and I'm hoping that you came up with a total of 27. All right. So we had problems where we added integers, and we had problems where we were subtracting integers. Again, our focus today is my calculator getting out the right answers that I should be able to do maybe mentally. Okay? So now your homework is to complete practice lesson 1. My kids in class will have that sheet that I'll hand out to them right about now. You hopefully printed it off, and then you people that are online at home, and actually the people in class are going to do this too. They're going to go to their Google Classroom, and if you go to the Google Forms, we'll see how this works. This will be our first lesson. After you're done with the practice sheet, put your answers, open the Google Form document, and put your answers in. And hopefully I got these signs right and everything on there that it will self-correct and send me a note on how you did. All right, we made it through the first day of math in high school, 9th grade algebra. Congratulations. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a good day.